Have you ever had a dream that felt so vivid, so profound, that it lingered with you for days? Or have you found yourself drawn to a particular image, a myth, or a story for reasons you couldn't quite explain? I remember a recurring dream I had years ago of a lone wolf running through a dark forest. I couldn't understand why that image felt so potent, so important, but I felt a deep sense of restlessness whenever I thought of it. In a world that values logic and reason above all else, we are taught to dismiss these experiences as mere coincidence or fantasy. We believe that what we can't explain in words has no real meaning. But what if these symbols, the wolf in your dream, the hero in a myth, the wise old man in a movie, are not random at all? What if they are the most direct, powerful language of your deepest self, a language that holds the keys to your destiny and your wholeness? Today, we're going to explore the universe of symbols through the eyes of one of the most brilliant and enigmatic thinkers of the 20th century, Carl Jung. We'll discover how to listen to the messages your unconscious mind has been sending you all along, and why this journey is not just a psychological exercise, but a path to living a more authentic, integrated life. In our modern rationalist society, we have become profoundly disconnected from the symbolic world. We are trained to think in literal terms, to analyze, and to categorize. Our education system, our media, and our culture all prize linear thought. We've built a world on facts, data, and logic, but in doing so, we've neglected a vast, powerful part of our being, the unconscious mind. This is a tragedy, because for Jung, the unconscious is not a junkyard of repressed memories. It is a creative, living reality, a source of guidance, wisdom, and profound potential. It is the birthplace of all creativity and the wellspring of human instinct. The problem is that the unconscious does not speak the language of logic. It speaks in the language of symbols, archetypes, and myths. Ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the indigenous tribes of the Americas, understood this instinctively. They didn't just tell stories about gods and heroes. They lived in a world where every natural element, every animal, and every celestial body was a living symbol, imbued with a sacred meaning that connected them to the cosmos. They used myths and rituals to communicate directly with the unconscious, providing them with a profound sense of meaning, purpose, and connection to something larger than themselves. But over centuries of rational thought, we've severed this vital link. When we lose our ability to understand symbols, we lose our ability to communicate with the deepest, wisest part of ourselves. The result is a feeling of spiritual emptiness, a sense that something fundamental is missing from our lives because we are no longer in dialogue with our own soul. We are living a half-life, disconnected from the very source of our potential. Jung believed this collective spiritual crisis was a dangerous imbalance, and that the only way to heal our society was for individuals to reconnect with their own symbolic life. Jung's entire psychological framework is built on the idea that the unconscious has a structure and a language. At its deepest level lies the collective unconscious, a universal, inherited reservoir of knowledge, instincts, and predispositions that we all share as humans. Think of the collective unconscious as the shared operating system of humanity, the innate psychic infrastructure that we are all born with. This is the source of all myths, archetypes, and universal symbols that appear across cultures and time. From the snake to the sun, from the hero's journey to the divine child, these are not just stories. They are the innate psychic patterns of the human experience. They are the universal grammar of the soul. Within the collective unconscious reside the archetypes. Archetypes are universal, primordial patterns or images that are a part of every human mind. They are not concrete figures, but powerful psychic templates. The hero archetype, for example, is the blueprint for courage, transformation, and overcoming adversity. When we are drawn to a story of a hero, it is because we are resonating with this archetype within ourselves. The wise old man is the archetype of guidance, wisdom, and spiritual authority. The great mother is the archetype of nurturing, creativity, and the unconscious itself. These archetypes are not just concepts. They are living forces that shape our experiences, our dreams, and our lives. When we neglect them, we feel a deep sense of disconnect because a vital part of our psychic life is being ignored. Another powerful archetype is the trickster. The trickster archetype is a mischievous, rule-breaking force that delights in chaos and disruption. He appears in mythology as figures like Loki or Coyote, and in modern life as the rebellious artist or the unpredictable friend. The trickster's symbolic function is to challenge the status quo, to break down old rigid structures, and to usher in new possibilities. When the trickster appears in our dreams, it's often a signal that we need to stop taking ourselves so seriously, to embrace the unpredictable, and to allow for new creative possibilities to emerge. These archetypes are not simply characters, they are blueprints for human experience, and symbols are how they make their presence known to us. The symbol is the bridge between the conscious mind and the unconscious. Jung was very clear about the difference between a symbol and a sign. A sign has a fixed meaning. The word chair points to a chair. The red octagon of a stop sign means to stop and nothing else. A symbol, however, has a deeper, more profound meaning that is not fully known. It is a living, ambiguous image that points to a reality beyond our conscious grasp. The snake, for instance, can symbolize transformation and healing in one context, and fear and danger in another. A spiral can represent growth and decay, life and death, or the journey into the self. The unconscious uses symbols precisely because it needs to communicate a message that is too complex, too profound, or too contradictory for the linear language of our conscious mind. Understanding symbols is not about assigning them a dictionary definition. It is about engaging with them, allowing their meaning to unfold from within. It's an act of conversation, not translation. The most direct way the unconscious speaks to us is through our dreams. Jung called dreams the royal road to the unconscious because they bypass the ego's defenses. The psyche uses dreams to restore balance and to compensate for what is missing in our conscious life. If you are too focused on logic, your dreams may be filled with strange, irrational symbols. If you are repressing your emotions, your dreams may feature floods or natural disasters. Understanding dreams is not about predicting the future, it is about listening to the psyche's urgent need for balance and wholeness. Ignoring this dialogue is a sure path to psychological distress. So, how do you learn the language of the unconscious and begin to understand the symbols in your own life? The process is not one of logical analysis, but of conscious engagement. It is a journey of opening yourself to the possibility that the most profound wisdom is not found in books, but in the images that arise from within. Step 1. Record your dreams. Your dreams are the most direct, unfiltered communication from your unconscious. They are the psychic world's nightly dispatch, a direct line to your deepest self. The first step to understanding symbols is to create a dream journal. The moment you wake up, before you've had a chance to think or rationalize, write down everything you remember. Images, feelings, characters, and plot points. Don't try to analyze it right away, just capture it. The simple act of recording your dreams shows your unconscious that you are listening. Over time, you will begin to notice recurring symbols or themes, which are often the unconscious mind's most important messages. Step 2. Engage with the symbols. Once you have a collection of symbols from your dreams, a myth that has always resonated with you, or an image that keeps appearing in your life, don't try to figure it out with your conscious mind. Instead, engage with it. Jung recommended a process called active imagination. Close your eyes and imagine the symbol. Ask it questions. What do you want from me? What are you here to teach me? Write down whatever comes to mind without censoring yourself. You can also explore the symbol's cultural and historical meaning, not to find the right answer, but to enrich your personal dialogue with it. This process is not about logic, it is about building a relationship with the image, allowing its true meaning to reveal itself over time. Step 3. Live the symbol. The purpose of understanding symbols is not just intellectual, it is transformative. A symbol is a call to action. If you keep dreaming of a hero's journey, it may be your unconscious telling you that it is time to face a challenge in your own life. If you're consistently drawn to the symbol of the Great Mother, it may be a call to nurture a new creative project, or to bring more compassion into your life. For instance, if you are drawn to the symbol of a mountain, your unconscious may be telling you to embrace a difficult challenge or to start a long, demanding project with courage and perseverance. The final step is to act on the insight the symbol provides. By living the symbol, you are not just understanding your unconscious, you are integrating it into your conscious life. You are bridging the gap between your inner and outer worlds, and in doing so, you are moving toward a state of genuine wholeness. The journey to understand symbols is a journey back to yourself. It is a path that reminds us that there is a deep, intelligent, and creative part of us that has a story to tell. By learning to listen to this language, we don't just find meaning, we live it. We become active participants in the great unfolding story of our own lives, guided by the timeless wisdom of the unconscious. A return to symbolic thinking is not a rejection of reason, but a necessary step towards psychological wholeness and a richer, more profound experience of life. If this video resonated with you, I encourage you to begin your dream journal today. What is one symbol you've been drawn to throughout your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're ready to continue your exploration of the inner world and the timeless wisdom of Carl Jung, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell.